Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today's video, a cautionary tale of why you shouldn't install things that you find on the internet. Now, obviously, being a YouTuber and making the content we do, it's a little bit like the kettle calling the pot black, but from my own experience, just wanted to go through and just raise some awareness and also some things that you should definitely do before you install programs which you're not entirely 100% sure of. Now, the first thing to do before you do anything on your system is make sure that you have a full system backup, or alternatively at least a registry backup or maybe a system restore point. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of you that have got Windows 10 or Windows 11 and you've gone through all the debloating things and you've maybe turned off system restore because it takes up some of your valuable disk space. I would strongly suggest, if you are trying out software packages which are maybe slightly unknown or something you've picked up from GitHub, then maybe do turn system restore back on, and again, do try and take a full system backup. Now, actually, at the moment, if you're using Windows 11 25H2, there is actually the point-in-time backup feature, which actually can save you from a lot of hassle. So I've actually used that today because I have, believe it or not, done exactly what I've been just preaching to you about not doing. But luckily, I do have my NAS back at my system, full backup, but luckily, the system restore point actually, or the point-in-time restore actually did save my bacon. So I was using a program called WinZenith, which actually I will be showing you the whole kind of go through. And there's a few little telltale signs. Let me know if you can pick them up as you go through. So I'm going to show you the video as I started recording it. And there's a few little things which didn't work entirely right. Now, I did try the program first of all, just a brief overview, and I was getting a few different UI messages or user interface messages which didn't quite make sense. So I just put it down to being it wasn't running in administrator mode, so I reran it and then I started recording the video. So from this point now, you'll be watching the video that I started recording, and I'll maybe do some voiceovers or there'll be some text on the screen to kind of point out where things started to look as if they were going wrong. So maybe if you're doing a similar thing, this might be helpful for you to kind of spot where things are starting to not work as intended. Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and don't you know that PC maintenance is actually quite easy, especially the outsides, a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, a wipe, maybe a toothbrush, paintbrush, pretty easy to do. But when it comes to the inside of your PC, in terms of the files and Windows itself, things are a little bit more tricky. Now, there are some really cool tools built into Windows itself, but they often don't do exactly what they're supposed to, or they're just dotted around everywhere. So wouldn't it be really nice if there was an application that kind of had everything that you really needed in one nice cohesive place? So in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly that. This is a program called WinZenith, which is completely free of charge to use and is open source, so you can check out all the file internals, etc, etc. But I think the best thing to do is to show you actually how it works. And you can download it from here, so it's a zipped folder, download that. I've already done that previously. Links for all this will be in the video description as well. And then you just unzip it to a folder. This is portable, so you can put it onto your USB flash drives or you can leave it on your computer. That choice is entirely up to you. Go into WinZenith and you'll see there is the WinZenith exe. So right click and choose Run as Administrator. You'll get the user account control come up. If you're using account control, just click on Yes. And then the application will start up in the full screen dashboard, which is pretty nice. So this is the main dashboard. You've also got this option, so you can click on Scan for issues. And it'll go through checking the main three groups, which are outdated drivers, software updates, and also system cleanup. So it'll go through doing that. May take a little while, just be patient, let it do its thing. And there we go, the scan is completed. So we've got 10 outdated drivers or software. We've got 2.37 gigabytes of space which can be freed up, and there's 18 cleanup categories which are in that. So that is the kind of the dashboard. Again, you can do it individually, whichever you want to do. So I'm going to go through all of these and show you what is in each one. So first of all is drivers. So if you want to do one of these things, not all of them, then you can just choose the individual one. So in drivers, click on Scan. And as you can see at the top here, we've got options for update all, update selected, backup, ignored, history, and details. So I've actually updated the drivers recently. So that's fine. There are a few little quirks with this program. There are a few little bugs where the user interface doesn't always report back the correct information, but it does seem to work in the background, so that's absolutely fine. So if you want to update your drivers, you can do that from there. Choose update all, or just click on them and you can update the selected ones. Also, as part of the drivers package, you've got the backup and rollback section. So this has an option for rolling back drivers. Again, there's nothing I've backed up at the moment. Also, your system restore points, you've got those. So if you want to, you can create a new one. You can scan for restore points and remove some if they're not necessary. And also there is an option here for backing up your registry. So if you do backup now, it will ask you which parts of the registry you want to do. You can do either all of them or one, whichever works for you. I would probably say it's probably best if you do all of them. Click on OK. And there we go, it's done a partial backup. So some areas it couldn't access, but some is better than none. So we've got our registry backup there. Next we go to software updates. So this for some people is going to be the real bane, like using WinGet can be a real pain if you don't know the commands, etc. So with this, click on scan. Again, this should take a little while depending on how many pieces of software are on your system. Once it's done, it actually rescans itself automatically. So as you can see, we've just got these that need doing. So again, if you want to do them, you can do. It's entirely up to you. So that's pretty handy for updating software packages, especially things like hardware monitor, CPU-Z, crystal disk, etc., which there's frequently updates. It's a pain in the ass to download it, go to the site, install it, all that bother. It's easier to do it this way. System information. You can go in there, click on load system information. It will scan your system. So if you want to, like for instance, Clipchamp, we don't really want that. So let's force the uninstall of that. It says there, this will force to remove all traces of Clipchamp without running the standard uninstaller. This includes killing processes, deleting files, etc., etc. This cannot be undone. So let's click on yes. You can always reinstall it if you needed to. And there it's saying we need a scheduled reboot to get rid of it. So that was fine. That'll happen after we do a reboot. Next, we've got duplicate files. This is actually a little bit dangerous, but also quite powerful as well. So with this, you can scan your entire system for duplicated files, and potentially you're going to have a lot of them. Sometimes they're necessary, sometimes they're not. When you clean these, you can actually choose to clean it to your recycle bin. So if something needs to be restored or something. Obviously, with all of these types of programs, I would strongly suggest before you actually physically commit to any of this, do a system backup. If not, a system restore point will be useful, although this will make system restore points for you if necessary. But yeah, strongly recommend doing a backup before you do any of these kind of cleanup routines, or even if you just clean up manually through Windows. So as you can see here, we've got a lot of stuff here, and there's 16.2 gigabytes in total. And now looking at this side, this doesn't quite make sense to me. It says it's found duplicate groups and 16.2 gigabytes total, 24.5 gigabyte reclaimable. I guess that means that that is the total of the files, and where they're duplicated, that's why you've got the larger size there. They could do with actually making that a little bit clearer, but get the general idea. And you can sort it by how many files are duplicated and what is reclaimable, or the file sizes. So if you just want to be a bit diligent and see which they are, so say for instance this one, the red launcher, that's the installer, and it looks like I've got 2 copies of that on here, both of which are over 650 megabytes each. So there's 1.2 gigs we could save already. So you get the general idea. So if you want to do that, let's do, I'm going to clean all of it. Now, I've backed up my system beforehand, so let's see what it does. You've got the option to move to recycle bin. So that would be the safer way of doing it. That way you could potentially restore them, or you can delete permanently. So let's live on the edge. I'm going to do delete permanently, and we'll see what happens to my system. Like I said, I've done a full system backup, so I am the guinea pig here. But I would strongly suggest, like I've said already, make sure you do a backup and just be careful, because this is quite powerful stuff. So this is quite useful. So it's deleted all those. Some of the files could not be deleted. Again, I don't think these numbers are quite right in the UI, like I've said before. So yeah, let's do another scan. And so that has changed. So it's found 11 gigs of files which are duplicated. So now we've got a potential 13.8. So a lot of these files were either in use or Windows needed them, so it prevented them being deleted. So that's pretty good. I quite like that. Saved us a little bit of space. That's always handy to have. Next we can go into disk tools, and in here you can choose your drive, you can choose to defrag, you can do disk health, benchmarking and secure erase should you wish to. This for some reason on my system fails to load the drives. Maybe it's because of this newer update, but hopefully they'll fix that shortly. But again, for defragging, there's actually a visual representation of the defrag when it works. At the moment it's not for some bizarre reason, so yeah, you get a visual representation like we used to in the old Norton software, which was quite nice to look at, so you saw exactly what was going on your drive. Also, you've got your browser extensions, so you can scan all browsers on your system. I haven't got Opera installed, you knobber. Great. Let's restart it. It's broken. Yarp. Clearly I've deleted something that I shouldn't have done. You might as well stop recording, I think. You've broken it. So there you go. It got to a point there where basically I did the removing of the duplicate files and Windows itself was still working, but I then tried to move into a different part of the actual program and it wasn't responding. So I basically unzipped the folder, retried to run the program, and it just wouldn't load at all. So I thought, right, okay, fair enough, let's just restart the computer. At which point, when I restarted, there was a message, and I'm not sure if I've actually managed to capture this, but there's a message saying that Windows has run into an error, and there was about 4 different error messages at the same time. Luckily, the point-in-time restore really did save my bacon, because I let it reboot 3 times, and then it automatically went into kind of the recovery console, went into troubleshooting, did the point-in-time restore, and after about 25-30 minutes, my system was fully restored. As you can see, it's back up and it's running, which is awesome. But for those of you that aren't using the point-in-time restore, or you haven't updated Windows recently, I think this is a really good kind of illustration of why you should keep Windows up to date. And sometimes, yes, I know some features aren't always entirely welcome, but there are some features which are rolled out in Windows which actually really are useful. And like I've said a couple of times already, really can save your bacon. So, to finalize, if you're trying out programs which you see on the internet, do be careful. Do try and take a full system backup, or at least make sure you've got system restore enabled, or you're updated far enough with Windows 11 that you have got the point-in-time restore, which has been absolutely brilliant on this. And yeah, just because someone shows you in a YouTube video doesn't always necessarily mean it's absolutely safe. So do be careful out there, and hopefully this video has been somewhat of a warning to you of not following everything that you see on the internet, and possibly even in some YouTube videos as well. Anyway, I think I've waffled on for way too long. I'm going to go back to trying to find other cool programs for you to check out in future, and I will test them a lot before the videos go out. But this is one of those things where I started making a video and I wanted to show you that it doesn't always go entirely to plan. Anyway, I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.